does Aaron Neville fit into this? I don't want to see Aaron Neville in tight pants.
No.
He might not fit into them.
It doesn't matter what pants he wears. You're always going to just stare at the thing on his head. That's just how it is.
Oh, you're bad.
I'm
but
not
you're
bad.
so
it's
right.
True.
You're
it's
so
like,
right.
I love Aaron Neville.
Wouldn't you
I can't watch him sing.
Wouldn't you have that removed? I'd have that removed.
I don't think you can because I think it's more of a maybe that's where his vocal power comes from.
Right?
So
It's always
that's why
scared to remove it.
Barbara Streisand has never had a nose job because she's worried that it'll change her voice.
That makes sense.
It makes
Actually,
sense.
Right? Like
makes
if you're a
sense.
smoker and you sing great, don't stop, right?
I've had that problem.
Like if you change something, it could affect
Why
it.
are we
No,
talking
I
about
think you could
music?
have that removed. I'm looking at a picture of Aaron Neville right now.
You think?
I think you could have something done with that. Wear a real,
I think
real
there's a
big
scene
eye
in,
patch or
I
something.
think there's a
He's got
scene in
a
Austin
face tattoo
Powers
now
about
too.
that.
What?
He's got
No, that's the thing on his face.
no.
No,
Doesn't it look like a sword?
or something else?
I'm not sure. It looks like a sword.
Then we're going to leave it at that.
Yeah.
This is what happens when I say, I don't know what we're going to do for our show opener. And we start talking about
here we
It's
are.
never a problem.
Aaron Neville's undeveloped twin. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Byte Me podcast, episode 64. My name is Adam
64.
West.
And I am Cliff Johnson.
The Dylan here.
The Dylan. One more episode and we can retire. Collect Social Security.
Dang. Although these days, like, really, you should wait until you're 67.
At least.
There's big tax.
I think my dad did it like 55 or 57. He started early.
He lives simply.
Well, congratulations to your dad.
Yeah. He's been retired for a couple of years.
Yeah. I'm not retiring until I'm.
I don't know if boredom
Dead.
is set in
Yeah.
yet.
I think I'll retire 5 years after I die.
I've seen how much I contribute to my 401k. I'm never retiring.
You know. All right. So this week, lots of Nintendo stuff to talk about.
Lots of Nintendo
yeah,
stuff.
I know, right? Mario Kart Mobile. It's a thing, and it should be here in about a year. We'll talk about that. Switch Online service is a little closer than that, but not much. That's launching later this year, so we've got some info on that. Nintendo and Illumination, they're partnering to make a movie. I wonder who's in it.
Bob Hoskins. The zombie
The
Bob
ghost
Hoskins.
of Bob Hoskins. I'm like, wait a minute. And some Fortnite news, some weapons mechanics, and a new gun that's showing up. Plus, Red Dead Redemption
Tiny gun.
2, it got bumped back.
It did, but
there's a
leaked.
leak. So we'll talk about that. Some questions as well from Vinny. Super hyper mighty weapon man continues his thing.
I think that this might be the last chapter, I guess, depending on the outcome.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who knows?
Well, like I said, when I read this, I'm going to ruin it with logic.
All right.
High Jump's got one for us. Who's the Dons?
I don't know.
Okay.
Guy in our Discord.
Sweet. We've got a question from the Dons. Some CP Tinsano.
Hey, I don't know how you say that either. He's also from the Discord, though.
All right. And
Captain
Minlu.
Insano.
All right. Captain.
He's
I
from
didn't
Twitter.
actually realize that until I said it out loud. It's
Gotcha.
Captain Insano.
Captain Insano.
Oh, 6.
Or is it Captain Insano or is it Captain Sano?
No, it's Captain Insano, if you've seen the movie.
I've never seen it.
What movie?
Um,
We'll come back to you.
it's
the movie?
Waterboy, right? Captain
Oh,
Insano, the
no.
wresler.
Sure. Yeah, that tracks.
I believe you.
I've not seen that movie for
Ever.
when it
Never.
came out.
I've never
Yeah,
seen
I'm not
it.
sure I have either.
No. Plus some cheap free game stuff this week from Humble Bundle. A few things there. Like
Yeah.
more than a few things.
Every day I come in, they're like, here's a new one. I'm like, okay, cool. Here's a new one. I'm like, all right. Slow down.
Right, let us get it on our page first and then tell us about the new one. But, of course, we start every week with what we're playing. Cliff, you go
Woo!
first.
I finished The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, which was very fun. It, like you said last week, I thought it was a walking simulator, and it's actually kind of a horror game. And the ending is absolutely spectacular, and I can't talk about it because it's very spoilery. So,
Please don't.
I think that at least one of you needs to play it, and then we'll do maybe a spoiler cast on it because the ending is real good.
Okay.
The plot overall is really good, but I had a great time playing it. It's about, I'm going to say 3 hours long, maybe 6 hours long, somewhere between 3 and 6 hours long. It's kind of scary. The last part of it I played before the ending is actually really scary. I live streamed it, and we had a couple people in there. I think Kevin was in there, and it seems like a couple other people in there too. And I'm like slinking around corners. Like it's real. It's not scary. I mean, it's scary, but also you don't want to have to
tense.
redo it. It's super tense. Like it. I don't know. It was really an enjoyable game, and it's just. It's just absolutely gorgeous. But if you want to watch it, I actually live streamed the entire thing and posted all of the archives on our YouTube page.
Including the ending?
Including the ending.
So spoiler alert.
You can watch up until the ending. If you could watch the first 7 videos and just skip the last 1 or 2. But that's great. And then I've been playing GTA 5. I'm real close. I'm so close. I'm like 14 missions away, 14 out of 69 because, of course, there's 69.
Away from what?
Finishing. So beating the game.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm real close. So beat another 2 last night.
The story arc, at least, right?
Yeah, the main story. And I've done most of the Strangers and Freaks, too, except for the racing ones because I'm terrible at racing. So
Bad driver.
Oh, God.
Only has one eye.
And it's so hard, too. They're so hard. But that game's just spectacular. With the exception of a couple of really, really, really ugly character models, too. Like that game.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Like the FBI agent who kind of blackmails you into helping him, his character model is the most uncanny of uncanny valleys. Like he's just freakishly unreal looking.
So is he so real looking? He's unreal looking?
God,
I've seen some people like that.
Yeah, man.
So
I tell you, like real wide eyes that never seem to quite focus anywhere.
Yeah,
and
I've seen those.
Yeah.
Stop talking about me.
I have a associate, no one that works here, just someone I know that has 2 lazy eyes, and I'm like, oh my God, it's not good. It's not good at all.
Googly eyes.
Yes. Anyway, GTA 5. I mean, Jesus, if you haven't played it right now, it's still like $30 if you buy it new. It came out in 2014.
But
it's
still,
so worth it.
It's still good though.
I was at GameStop the other day.
That's a store.
Yeah, I keep getting them confused with GameSpot. The website.
Sure.
Yeah.
I was at
Leathers.
GameStop, and the used copies of GTA 5 were $45, $50.
Yeah, it's insanity. It's such a good game, though. Like, and I'm enjoying it so much. And the plot of the single player game is just absolutely incredible.
And I bought it on PC when it was on sale on Steam.
Yeah.
So I need to
just buckle down. It's long. I mean, it's like a 40-hour game. So
I'm still halfway through Okami. I need to finish that.
Yeah, but GTA is just great. It's really good. Obviously, there's complaints about it. It doesn't. It's a 4-year-old game, so like a lot of the gameplay stuff, a lot of the controls on it are just ridiculous. Like driving and shooting is almost impossible.
It's never been Grand Theft Auto's strongest area.
No.
It's like they could take some.
Yeah,
I don't know like what they need to do. They just need to. I take a chapter out of Saints Row's book and kind of just be more third person.
It needs auto aiming when you're driving, like badly. And it needs like the mission structure could be better where, like, I mean, for instance, last night there's a really boring plane mission and I crashed landing the plane and it took me all the way back to the first. And so it was like another 5 minutes of flying through nothing and then I crashed again. So I played that mission 3 times over 15 minutes or 20, probably 15 minutes. And it's the exact same every time, and I was fine with everything except the landing, and I just didn't stick the landing. So, stuff like that. And that's not the first mission that's happened on. So
Gotcha.
But anyway, great game.
Cool. So I'm still playing SteamWorld Dig 2.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I'm digging it. I figured out how to get past that one spot. It was one of those blocks that you can't crack anywhere but a certain place.
Oh, sure.
And I didn't, because I just landed next to it, and I keep hitting this block on the side, and it wouldn't go away. And
Sometimes
I'm like, well, I
tricky.
can't break that thing.
Yeah.
But then I jumped on top when I watched, because I finally was like, how does a walkthrough, how does a guy who's recorded this, how did he do it? And I'm like, you just got to jump on hit that thing.
There were a couple of places where I ended up having to use a walkthrough just because they're tricky, and if you don't see... And I mean, I don't think I could beat that game. Like, the little kind of... I don't know what you call them, those kind of... doors you walk through and then you have to, the caves,
the dungeons.
There are some of those that I would never be able to solve without a walkthrough.
There's one that I'm playing right now. It's called The Floor is Lava.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it's it's frustrating as all hell. But
I don't think I actually beat that one.
I've gotten really, really close.
That's a game that I want to let, because I beat it. I'm going to say in October. I beat it when I was on vacation last time, and I think that's a game that I'm going to let kind of simmer and marinate for a little bit, and then I'm going to go back and try and 100% it at some point.
Oh, totally.
Just not yet. I'm going to give myself a little distance.
You did 100% it, didn't you?
No.
Oh, I thought you did.
It was one of those games, though, where you felt like you did a lot of the side things, and then upon completion, it's like you didn't do that much.
You're like, you did 31%.
Yeah, which, I mean, I like that because there's a lot of game there, but at the same time, like, I would be more inclined to 100% something if it was more obvious where those things were, because I didn't find it. I mean, I did a little bit of searching. Like, I wasn't, like, seeking everything, but I also wasn't just running linear through it.
Yeah, there's a lot of you found a secret area or you found a hidden area that just pop out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And
you kind of learn to look.
Yeah, you kind of
see where they are, but
even still, it's like
I think I finished the game 60% complete, 65% complete.
Like half of these areas I just kind of wandered into by accident.
Yeah, the game's so good though. Like I will play any game that they put out.
Yeah,
it's just I should really go back and play SteamWorld Heist.
I wanted to play that again. Is that on the Switch now?
Yes. And SteamWorld Dig was just re-released for the Switch too. It's like $10.
SteamWorld Heist is on the Switch.
The SteamWorld Heist and the original SteamWorld Dig.
Okay,
just both got switched.
All great games. So
yeah. Both worth it. Yeah, I may rebuy SteamWorld Heist might be a good game to pick up for. I'm going on vacation in 2 weeks. I might pick that up.
Where are you going in 2 weeks?
Where do I always go?
Oh, you're going to Disneyland.
To Disneyland.
Gotcha. Okay. So speaking of GameStop, I was there the other night before dinner. I had some time to kill, and I was walking through, and I was looking at the pre-owned games for the Xbox, and they had Sunset Overdrive for like $9.
Nice.
So I'd heard really good things about it. I remember seeing like when they released it. Looked really interesting, looked like a lot of fun. So I bought it, and I kind of love it.
Yeah. Oh, it's so much fun.
Oh, my God. Just the fact, and if you haven't played this, I don't care.
It's Tony Hawk's.
Spoilers.
Yeah. Tony Hawk with...
Infamous. It's Tony Hawk meets Infamous. It's amazing. Yeah. But I enjoy the whole premise about how it's all these people at this giant energy drink rave, and they drink an energy drink and turn into mutants.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
Amazing.
I loved everything about the story. I loved the treatment. I loved everything. There was a game that came out like really well critically reviewed and just didn't sell any. It just didn't sell any copies.
Well, it was funny because
I
was looking up IGN reviews of stuff just to see what they were saying about it, because I wanted to say I remember it getting a fairly middle of the road score.
Marty Sleva reviewed it, I think, and loved it.
Yeah, and he gave it a 9.
Yeah.
But even 4 years ago when it came out?
Wow, is it really that old?
It's almost 4 years ago.
Wow. It was shortly after the Xbox One came out, I think. 'Cause that's the game I bought an Xbox One for.
Oh, really?
I bought it just before that came out.
That's crazy.
Well, in the review, he says, I really wish these guys would make a Spider-Man game.
And now they are.
And now they're making the Spider-Man game this year.
Yeah, is that Insomniac?
Yeah, it's Insomniac. And that's coming out, I think, this summer on the PS4.
It's a game. I bought it probably a year and a half ago for like $15. I mean, that's been a Games with Gold game. So if you've had Games with Gold, I think in 2017, I want to say, you may have a copy of it. It's I had some complaints about it. I don't think the movement works nearly as well as it potentially could, and I thought, like I was talking to Adam earlier, like I was out of bullets in that game constantly, and which only sucks because it's the same way I felt about Doom, and maybe I'm just a terrible shot. Like I'm willing to accept the fact that I'm just a terrible shot.
Yeah, I'm a terrible shot.
But
because Doom, I've never run out of ammo.
Oh God,
that's funny. I never had that problem.
Both me and my brother,
8 weapons. Like how do I run out?
Yeah,
both me and my brother thought the same thing about Doom, where it's just like all I want to do is use the shotgun all the time, and so much of the time I was just down to my little like pew pew gun. And, but that's the same thing about that, is that game's got awesome guns. The guns are so cool and weird.
They're really
I'm just like, oh, well, I'm out of everything.
But I'm loving it so far. Visually, it is incredible.
Oh, yeah.
It is so cool. And I actually like the movement and the way you get around.
Yeah.
Because once you figure it out, it's just
and you can shoot on the move really well too, which is really key because that's what the game's about. Like
and I like the little red reticle that pops up when, even though you're not really that close to where you could be hitting them, it's kind of like, hey, you can shoot now and we'll count it.
Yeah.
But in just the 45 minutes to an hour that I played it last night, like the controls, I'm more than confident that I'm going to be able to handle that just fine between switching from hanging and actually, grinding on your shoes. Yeah. And shooting and bouncing and jumping. It's just a lot of fun.
Yeah. I'm going to lend my copy to Vicky because she's heard you talking about it.
I showed her the trailer. I was like, I'm playing this great game, and she freaked out.
So I'm going to lend her my copy. Maybe when she gives it back, I'll give it another go. I got enough games for now. But
I like the fourth wall breaking, too, that it does.
Oh, yeah.
I
loved everything about that game conceptually. It just didn't quite click with me the way I wanted to. So,
that's okay.
Yeah.
Later on, King Buzzo shows up, and it's amazing.
Who?
King Buzzo of the Melvins.
Yes, I've gotten...
big Washington band. Not a huge band, but they were very important in the Seattle music scene.
And apparently the dude plays...
grunge movement.
No video games?
No. Yeah. They're just like... They were like... The people who made Sunset Overdrives are fans of the Melvins. And they're like...
cool.
And they do this... There's like this band sequence later on, and they're just like, hey, you want to be in our video game? And he's like... He just kind of like... Yeah, you're fans, sure. And like it's so cool. And
Nice.
then like one of the song you play.
Insomniac's local too. They're
is,
like 2 miles from our office.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So I mean, it was so cool. And when
No, they're in Burbank. I lied.
Yeah, I've got a friend, or met somebody that works there. He's working on the sound design for the new Spider-Man game.
Who made the game? That game
Sucker Punch.
Sucker Punch. Okay.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
They're both like Sony
Yeah.
makers. So.
Right.
But I was so excited when all of a sudden I was like, I know that guy.
Right.
Like, why is he in here?
That's
Yeah, the
awesome.
soundtrack is awesome.
Cool,
the
so-
music is great. Like it's so perfectly, like everything is so perfectly mixed audio wise, like sound wise. That game
good.
is awesome.
That's
So-
what I was thinking. Sucker Punch made it infamous. So.
Right.
Gotcha. So yeah, that's what I'm playing, Dylan.
Good man. Some good games.
That Mario and Rabbids, whatever it's
Mario
called.
plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
I know. I'm just making a joke because it is kind of a ridiculous name, but I picked that up on the Switch digital e-sale they had recently. So
Are you still sick?
no, my throat's all dry. I've been drinking water all day. I don't know what's going on. It's something in the air. It's all these plants. I don't know.
Stupid plants.
Fake plants. Allergic to fake plants. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I think I'm just getting to the part now where they're going to actually start kind of challenging you in the game a little bit more than just kind of teaching you the basics. So far, the one thing I hope is a little more like weapon variety, like hoping the weapons do a little bit different things. Like I like when I think with Rabbid Luigi, you get like a rocket launcher where you can do an area of effect damage, or Mario gets a hammer where you can smash multiple enemies. So I like having those different interactions. So I hope to see more of that. But I like how energetic it is for being a turn-based game. You're able to dash and do like hit and runs on enemies, and then you bounce off your own teammate to launch yourself to another part of the battlefield. And you can, if you're Mario, you can bounce on top of the enemy's heads and then land somewhere else, up to a higher, so you can get high ground or whatever. And I think that is what makes it really cool, rather than just like moving around on a grid and attacking enemies. It's like there's this energy to it, which is atypical in a turn-based game, which purposefully slows the game down.
Right. That's what I liked about it, because it's like in those typical like strategy grid-based games, you can go here, 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 and here, and that's about it. But once you add in the jumps off of one of your teammates and then jumping off of one of your enemies, like it just
you can
adds
get all over the place.
All over the place.
So like I really enjoy that, and I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes. I think at the end I'm going to look back and say I wish there was a little more variety in like your team composition, like the different characters you can play, because it doesn't look like there's that many, and the things they do aren't that different. But I think it's going to be fun, and when they start challenging you with bigger, tougher enemies that do these different things, I think that's where the game will shine too, because it will challenge you. Other than that, back to the PUBGs and Fortnites, playing lots of those, and I've kind of been thinking after playing these quite often, like things I'd kind of like to see, or I guess the criticisms I have of this game. First, with Fortnite, it was funny because I was like, man, every time I get to like the top 3 or top 2 or whatever, and I'm fighting that last guy, he always has a rocket launcher, and he wins. And the funny thing is, I finally got a rocket launcher, and I won.
Oh,
so
nice.
I got my llama dinner, or whatever
Llama.
you want to call it. But
what do you win?
A llama.
The game's thing is llamas.
Lord.
I don't. But
Go ahead.
I feel that the rockets are a little decisive in what they can do at the end of a game. Now, is that a good or bad thing? I guess it doesn't matter, because it's all chance that you're going to get one anyway. And like, I never got one in a drop. I snuck up on someone and shot him in the back and took the rocket launcher. Like, I never found one. I stole it from somebody. So, I don't know. I feel like they're a little unbalanced. And sometimes, like, I'm watching some streamers, and they'll have like a rocket launcher, and they'll have like 24 or more rockets.
Wow.
And they're just spamming it for like 30 seconds as that final circle comes in. You have just nowhere. Like, the circle's so small, it's like area of effect. And I don't know. I don't know if it kind of breaks the game down a little bit. But I think it's also important, because so much of the game is building. You have to be able to destroy those buildings somehow. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it is important that it's there. I just don't know. I definitely don't want to see the chance of it like a loot drop increase, because then you'd see all these rockets being spammed everywhere, and that would be terrible. So maybe it's fine. I don't know.
I haven't heard many people complain. I mean, people complain about literally everything, and I have not heard a lot of complaints about that. So maybe the balance is okay.
Yeah, I don't find it super unbalanced. It just seems like it's very common. Like every single time I'm at the very end, they have a rocket launcher and I don't, and it's very hard to counter.
I mean, for the sake of agreeing with you, the one time I got a number 2 in Fortnite, I got killed by a guy with a rocket launcher who blew up a tree in front of me.
Right.
So.
And I don't think I really don't think it's wrong. It just seems
It's a strategy. To win that game, you might need a rocket launcher, or you might need to be on a team with people that have a rocket launcher.
Yeah, so that is what it is, I think. And I've been playing a lot of Fortnite because, I do enjoy the game, but I played some PUBG and we were playing like squads, and I just wasn't having fun because every time we would drop, the circle would literally be at the opposite end of the map, and we would run and die. And we spent a whole night, a whole session one night doing that. And I literally was like, we logged off, and I was like, that wasn't fun.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's part of the fun of PUBG, except when it happens literally for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I didn't have fun, and I was like, well, that sucks. That kind of sucks. Is there a remedy for it? I don't know. Maybe not.
Probably not.
It's part of the game.
Part of the game.
But something else I was thinking about PUBG, and I had a conversation with one of the guys I was playing with, was some of the weapons in the game, they just don't get used, other than early game where you have to grab something and do something with it, but then literally they won't be used for the rest of the game. And I think that's kind of silly. So I was wondering, should these A, be removed, or B, reduce the chance of other drops where it's actually cool when you get an assault rifle.
Yeah.
And of course you want the assault rifles because that's the bread and butter of what the game's about. But just imagine when you have shotguns and pistols, and then someone finally finds an assault rifle and the edge it gives them. But everyone, literally everyone has it, and then really it's about who gets a sniper rifle. But then there's all these shotguns and pistols that no one touches.
Yeah.
You'll never see a late game shotgun. It just doesn't. I've never seen one.
It'd be that'd be a cool mode to play with, just pistols or just pistols.
Yeah.
I mean, could you imagine what just pistols would be? You would be you would never shoot anyone just running across the map, but maybe you'd be sneaky and follow them.
Right.
You know?
I think it would open up some interesting things.
I really like what Fortnite's doing with this strange, the sniper rifle
shootout.
Yeah. I think it's an interesting idea. I'd like to see that. But I think you can do that in PUBG too. If there's 80 or 90 people that are PUBG, I don't want to say sponsored,
but they can do custom
they can create
games.
custom games. I think it'd be really interesting to see.
I think that'd be cool.
And I think that's going to be wider eventually, is that they'll allow everyone to build custom games. But that'd be super fun to be able to try out different ideas.
Yeah. I was thinking I'd like a mode where you have the lever action Winchester that's on the new map, the sawed-off shotguns, the revolver. So all the weapons that you don't use, just make a game with those weapons because they are fun to use. And the Tommy gun, it's they're fun to use. It's just the Tommy gun, you can't even put a sight on it. It's really it is a good weapon, but it's just you're always going to drop it when you find the UMP9 or an assault rifle. You'll never keep it. And I just think that's kind of silly.
I would say they should make a version where it's nothing but people driving around, but then I know that's the Xbox.
Yeah. Yeah, those are just some thoughts I've had, trying to figure out how to make the game better, or what problems do I really see with it. And sometimes it's just the excessive amount of loot that you literally don't care about.
Yeah.
And I just think if you strip that away and then put stuff that actually makes you make a choice, right? That's what the game's about, is actually finding the loot you want, not just passing by. Because that's when you figure out you need to buff something in a game is when literally no one uses it, right?
Right.
And it's not that they should buff these weapons and make them overpowered. It's just I think they need to be. They need to be
something. Give them a reason to be there, other
else
than just to have something.
And how many times do you actually need to use your pistol?
Yeah.
Once you have two primary weapons, why do you ever need your pistol?
Seriously.
So, anyway.
Well, thank you for that. And we've got some more Fortnite news, speaking of weapons and stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that. If you are listening to us on iTunes or wherever you might be listening, like us, rate us, review us, and help us get up higher in those search engines that people use to find us and listen to us. That'd be super nice.
Get out from under the magnifying glass. Like, hey, we're here.
Right? Seriously. And if you leave us a review, we'll read it and send you some stuff.
I sent out some stuff today.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was to Jake, I believe his name is, because I forgot to send it like 2 weeks ago when I said I would. Sorry, Jake. It went out today.
It's coming.
Yeah.
We promise. So do that for us, please. And usually we're live on the Mixer as well at mixer.com/ByteMePodcast when we record roughly Wednesday afternoons. But this week it's a weird week, so... But you're listening to this after the fact, so you wouldn't even know that. So anyway, all right, now that we've covered what we're playing, it's time to move on to our favorite segment that we always let Dylan introduce every single week. And it's a very special introduction that he does. He's really been practicing quite a bit at it, and it's a lot of fun. So you should really listen.
News!
Now I'm really sad we weren't broadcasting for that because the look on his face was like, do I get to? Is it now? Right? All right, news. Let's kick off the week of Nintendo again.
I swear, like, we finished recording last week, and like 15 minutes later, Nintendo was like, hey, guys. Yeah. They released it was all in their earnings call, too. So, whatever.
Oh, and remember when we were talking about... there was a game coming out on 420.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I can't remember what the game was that we were talking about, but the Nintendo Labo is coming out that day, and that's also the same day Super Troopers 2 is coming out.
Oh, God.
So,
for weird stuff.
It's a big day. It's a big day for a lot of people. In Seattle in particular.
Maybe I'll just take that day off.
Right? All right, so first bit of Nintendo news. Mario Kart Tour is announced for mobile. Mario Kart's coming to mobile.
Yeah, sometime in the next year.
In 2019. Or launching by March of 2019.
Yeah, this was because it was part of their financials call. Like, it's literally, the launch date is sometime in the next, before the end of this fiscal quarter. The 2018 fiscal quarter. You're like, right. Ew. So because their fiscal quarters run April to April, that means it'll launch sometime between now and March 31st, 2019.
Gotcha. So we've done the Miitomo thing, which is shutting down.
Yeah.
We've played
Mario
Animal
Run.
Crossing. We played Mario Run. And there's those are the three, right?
That RPG
Fire
one.
Emblem.
There's Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
I didn't try that one.
I did.
I hear that one's fantastic.
Yeah. I was real bored with it.
Oh.
But I think that maybe you have to be like into super grindy. Like the thing that I heard about that game is people, because you start out and you get, I think, like 5 heroes and they're kind of random. People like restarting that game like 135 times because they wanted the right 5. I'm like, ugh, like that's not for me.
That I wouldn't do. But so when they announced Mario Kart Tour or Mario Kart whatever coming to mobile, I think that it could actually do really, really well, especially with touchscreen controls.
Especially if like you
really
and your
well.
buddies could all get together and like sit in a room and all play in the same like arena, or I guess play in the same
Maybe
game.
They'll finally get their multiplayer right.
Yeah, like that could be really great. Well, and I could even see it not necessarily touch controls, but like with gyro controls, like you used to. I mean, I guess you can on both of them now. And
I've never been big on the motion.
No, I'm not either. But they work well enough.
They work really well, whether you like them or not.
Yeah,
I think. Like I found myself in the Mario Kart Wii. I liked using the wheel, but when they did it on the Wii U, you could still do it that way, and I just kind of played with it.
I didn't realize until I'd probably played multiple hours of it on the Wii U that you could turn that off and just use the controllers, which I'm way better when I'm using a directional pad, but it's fun to use that.
Oh, it took us 35, 45 minutes to figure out we could turn them off on the Switch.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Because we're sitting there, we'll play it and we're trying to turn, and when you turn, you and your body, you're kind of like, oh, go, and you move it, and everything like turns even more.
I apparently, and I've not used it, but the new version, I believe, actually has like a kid mode too.
Oh, there's it's in the original where you can't fall off the tracks.
Oh, and see, like I would kind of think that maybe that kind of addition to something on the phone where it's going to be harder to steer and harder, that concept might make it even better. I've not been super hot on a lot of the Nintendo mobile things. Like I was not a fan of Mario. Animal Crossing, like, seems like I could probably put some time into it and just haven't, but might enjoy it. But I'm kind of into this idea. Like I think, especially, I like the idea that it potentially, we don't know, could be like a group activity. Like you and a bunch of buddies could all pull it up and play at the same time. I like that idea.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And I'm because I know there's been rumors about a Zelda game coming to mobile too, and I'm real curious about what that could be. Could be really good or really bad. I don't think that one could be in the middle.
I hate on-screen direction controls, and so if it has that, I'm out. But if they figure out some way to do that,
maybe it'll be a Zelda Match 3 game.
Did you guys ever play?
Yeah. No,
either
like
this is kind of a throwback, but there was an Indiana Jones game and a Star Wars game on PC in like the mid 90s, and I can't remember what they were called, but they were these cool like puzzle games where you'd solve like a puzzle on a screen, and they were real low res. They just ran in like a browser window, kind of like or like a game window, kind of like Minesweeper did, and they were just like little puzzles you'd solve, and they were super fun. I could totally see conceptually Zelda
cool,
working like that.
A Zelda puzzle game could be.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be down with that.
Or even like the like Lara Croft Go or the Deus Ex Go.
Yeah.
Those could be good.
Yeah, something like that. That could be fun. More Nintendo news. Nintendo Online, or Nintendo Switch Online, is coming in September of this year.
Woohoo!
Yeah,
Kinda.
I
guess just because it's a step in the right direction. Like,
well, so why do you think they pushed it all the way back to September? I mean, nobody said that it was happening early in 2018. But I figured it would be sooner than later.
What do you need to play on it right now?
Well, that's the thing.
What game requires the online access? Splatoon. That's it.
Yeah.
So I don't think you can talk people into paying $20 a month for Splatoon.
Is it $20 a month? I thought it was like
$20 a year. It's $20 a year, I think.
Yeah.
But if it comes down to it not just being the whole online thing, but like same with like Xbox Games of Gold or PS Plus games.
And the way it's going to work is even though this game or service, I guess, gets released in 6 months, there's very little detail about it yet, which I guess presumes that they'll probably announce more at like E3. As of right now, they're saying you'll get a classic game selection. You'll be able to download a compilation of classic titles with added online play, such as Super Mario Bros. 3, Balloon Fight, and Dr. Mario. So that's their Games with Gold thing. Okay, and I mean, it's $20, so who cares?
Yeah, it's $20 a year. So
and you can pay that monthly if you want. You can pay that, I think, every 6 months if you want. So they're giving some options, but it also means that you have to buy like that stupid Squid adapter to be able to use it with your cell phone to get voice chat. This to me is I love everything the Switch has done. I'm a huge fan. I don't even play Manga a ton, but I love the idea of it. Yeah. I love I'm one of those people that thinks, that game would be perfect on the Switch. But their online thing and the way it works with headphones and the lack of Bluetooth is...
Now, is there straight up no Bluetooth in there? It's just not activated kind of thing?
Yeah. Okay. You cannot pair headphones to it.
Well, actually, they're compatible with certain USB headphones. I found that out.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, I found that out.
So
again, what are you going to do?
It's just one of those, like, this was very poorly thought out. The fact that you need a cell phone in order to do voice chat on a Switch, so now it's portable, and I've got my Switch, and I've got this cord, and I've got my cell phone, and I've got headphone. That's way too many cords for 2018.
Yeah, true. I'm curious to see what they're going to do. It makes me want to wonder what game may be coming out around that time.
You think they'll launch this with a game?
Yeah, because they're not going to launch it without having at least 2 or 3 solid bangers.
Something tells me it might be a game where you smash your bros.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Smash Bros.
Kind of what I thought.
Yeah. I don't know what else it could be.
And I wish we had more to talk about with this, but it's literally, we just told you everything Nintendo
there's
said.
to know. It's real.
I think we should wait till... June probably is when they'll know, because we wait like 3 months before something happens, and then they'll be like, bang, bang.
When's E3 2018?
It's roughly around my birthday.
June 12th through the 14th.
Yeah, my birthday's the 13th.
It's roughly around the 13th. So, I think that's when you're going to find out what's going on. I should put that on my calendar, too, so I can take whatever time I need off for that.
Hopefully, we'll hear something more about this sooner than E3. Nintendo has officially partnered with Illumination Studios for the new Mario movie.
Yeah, they're the folks that make Minions and Secret Life of Pets and...
My favorite.
other movies.
Minions, Secret Life of Pets, Despicable Me. There was another one. There's a lot of other great movies that they made, but unfortunately,
they made.
They're all like known for the Minions movies, which just makes
Are the best.
Okay, so I like the Despicable Me movies. The first Minions movie, I was kind of like,
isn't there just one?
Fun.
Yeah.
I think there's a second Minions movie, isn't there?
There might be coming, but there's 3 Despicables and then Minions.
Oh, they did Sing.
Yeah, Sing. Sing was a lot of fun.
It was all right.
Yeah.
Minions was great.
Yeah,
Minions
I adored the first Minions movie. I'm with you there.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
But they did Dr. Seuss and the Lorax too. That's what I was trying to think of. Yeah.
I mean, their animation's
and
great.
they're doing the Grinch movie. That's
the
coming
Grinch
out next
prequel.
year or the end of this year. Yeah.
They're doing the Grinch prequel.
So when he was grumpy?
No,
before he was grumpy. He's a little kid.
His size is too small.
So whatever happened to him? I don't.
We're gonna find out.
Yeah.
So, wow.
You too
get a
can
Switch
find
for
out
Christmas.
November 9th, 2018. Yeah. No, I think that's the perfect partnership, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
absolutely
totally.
perfect partnership. A lot of people were upset that they didn't partner with like Pixar, Disney, and as much as I think personally, I think that Pixar is a better studio than Illuminations. I think they make better movies consistently, but I think if Miyamoto is actually an executive producer on this game, and I don't. Sorry, whatever. Is it really though?
I mean,
no, it's Mario.
It's Mario. I don't think that Pixar would give the creative control.
Controller.
Oh dang! I don't think that Pixar would give the creative control to Nintendo that they would require in order to make a movie like this.
And that's true. That's fair.
And their animation style works really well with Mario.
Pixar's or Illumination?
Illumination.
Yeah, I think Illumination.
I think
Illumination is a little more cartoony.
Yep.
And whereas Pixar is just way more stylized.
Yeah. Yep. No, I agree.
So that's what I think. Plus, I think Pixar. I love Pixar. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of their movies follow the same kind of Disney pattern of storytelling.
Yeah.
But with the Illumination movies, I feel like they're all kind of different. Yeah, obviously the Despicable Me movies, they're all kind of the same. But Secret Life of Pets, that was a different movie. Sing, that was a different movie. Lorax, that was a fantastic movie.
That was really
totally reimagined way of telling that story. So I think they're a bit more creative in the way that they present their stories.
Man.
I think Pixar has more interesting stories, personally. Fair. So, I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm really excited. So here's the question, though. Like, I think the most important question of this entire thing: does Mario talk?
It's a me, Mario.
But that's the thing. Is like Mario doesn't talk much. Does he have does Bob Hoskins come back from the dead and voice him? Do they get
Bob Hoskins should have never played Mario.
Oh yeah, 100% should have played Mario.
And wasn't John Leguizamo played Luigi?
He was.
Wow.
Yeah, that is maybe the best movie ever made.
No.
Everyone should read the making of that movie because it was crazy. But I mean, that's the question. Does he talk? Because he does not talk very much, and he mostly talks in just kind of little quips and stuff. Is it going to be weird to have a movie with Mario talking?
Yeah.
Right?
It's going to be really weird to have a movie with Mario talking.
Is that...
Well, and
how do you make it work? I mean, I guess maybe Minions was a movie made that had 2 lines of dialogue. Yeah.
They talk in this weird gibberish language. Mm-hmm. They speak.
Yeah. Right, but I mean, most of it's told through...
Yeah.
It's essentially body language at that point.
But it was kind of weird when I was playing Mario Odyssey. At the end, when he gets into where the wedding's happening, he says Peach's name.
Yeah.
And that kind of caught me off guard.
Weird,
I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
But at the same time, how much that resonates with you when he finally says something different. It's like, what is that line going to be in this movie?
If there is a line in the movie.
Yeah. It's an interesting thing to think, though.
That'll be a fun little poll for us to put up on Facebook.
Oh, good.
All right, there's your Nintendo news. Moving on to the Fortnite news. Fortnite Update 2.4 adds a minigun to the mix.
So, and this is something that I think it's riled up some people who play the game. They don't like it. For obvious reasons, it has an unlimited clip size and no reloading or cooldown. So as many bullets as you have, you can shoot while moving and everything, and it just melts cover. So it kind of more so than a rocket, it just rips through anything you're trying to build. So it does kind of break the game the way that it separates itself from other games, which is its building mechanic, right? And that's supposed to be something that sets you apart. But at the same time, maybe it's something that end game, it helps counter the rocket. I don't know. Maybe people haven't thought about it that way. Maybe it's something where, okay, they have the tower and the rocket launcher, but I have the minigun.
So, and my assumption is going to be it's going to be a standard video game minigun where it's not you hit the button and it starts firing bullets. It's a minigun that kind of ramps up. I mean, that's always been the downside to me of
the
video game miniguns is that that gun does not do you a bit of good if you get surprised.
Right.
Like it has to be a planned thing that you go, all right, and then it starts shooting, and that's hard.
That's even like the one in Destiny 2.
Yep.
Like there's I can't remember what it's called, the Sunshine or the something like that.
Yeah, well, I just barely got done playing the GTA mission where you get a minigun, and it's awesome in that game because you also have like tons of body armor. But it's a gun where you have to kind of be a little bit thoughtful about not jumping around corners too fast because if someone catches you by surprise and shotguns you in the head, you're just screwed. You know, you can't spin it up fast enough to do anything. So,
but I think there's a lot of ideas out there how they could. I guess nerf it to just kind of tone it down a little bit, like having some amount of clip size, like whatever it is, and then have a reload, or kind of have it have a cooldown, which is essentially forcing it to reload at some point, which I understand because, it's kind of frustrating when someone just like, I don't know how many bullets you have, and you're just gonna just rip through everything that I build. Yeah. And again, it's frustrating at the end of the game where you get so far and someone just has something that counters you. But I mean, I guess that's kind of. Should we expect the game to evolve that way? Maybe. And maybe, I didn't think about it before until I said it, but maybe it is something that allows you to counter a rocket player at the end. If someone who has a rocket launcher, I have a minigun. I haven't really bothered to pick it up.
What if they've got a rocket launcher and a minigun?
Right.
Done.
I haven't really bothered to pick one up because it doesn't really fit my play style, personally. I'm not much of a builder and, defense player. I'm a little more of a sneaker. Kind of try to pick the right path and choose my fights wisely, and that's kind of how I play these games because I'm just not the aggressive mechanical player that's going to win that way. So that's my thoughts. I'm curious to see if people start liking it more because it does sound like it has a little bit of heat right now, being this new weapon. But I think that's anytime you just throw something new into a game, you don't really know how it's gonna.
And I mean, one of the things I really like about Fortnite, and it's not. This is in no way a slam against PUBG. They just flat out, most likely, do not have the resources that Epic as a game studio has. But I love the fact that they're like, I don't know, let's try some crap and see what sticks. And they're releasing a new version, I think, once a week or every other week. They're just going in and saying, this Battle Royale format is brand new. No one's ever really done it before. Let's try a bunch of stupid things and see what comes out of it. And I love that idea.
Yeah, I mean, as much as we kind of rag on Fortnite just for some of the stuff they've done with the original Fortnite, and the paid early access, whatever it is, it's still a good game. It looks good. It runs good. It performs very well, especially compared to PUBG, which it has the technical hiccups, but they support it often. They're putting out new stuff. They're really taking advantage of this early access where it's this is not a released game yet. Yeah. They're throwing everything out there and see what works. Let's make this game better. So it's at least if you did put money into it, if you spend a couple dollars here and there, you know where it's going. It is obvious where that money is going.
Every week where it's going.
And I think that Fortnite, the barrier to entry is lower, A, because it's free, but B, it seems less intimidating than PUBG. PUBG, it looks really real, and it's got really real guns, and it's complicated, and even though Fortnite might actually be more complicated because it's got the whole building mechanic on top of that.
You fly in on a bus.
You fly out on a bus.
Right.
Except during Christmas when you flew on a Christmas bus.
And you can dance.
Yeah.
So
it just feels like a game that you and your friends could hop in and go I don't care if I'm good. Who cares? This game is dumb and silly.
It's more like a game that you're supposed to have fun with.
It feels accessible.
Where PUBG is this is a game you have to win.
Right? And take seriously.
Yeah. And
whether you do or not.
I definitely feel that way. But I was watching a guy that was streaming, and I think he summed it up kind of well as how he differentiates PUBG and Fortnite and why he likes playing Fortnite solo and why he likes playing PUBG in squads, kind of. And he feels like PUBG, if you play solo and someone gets the drop on you, you lose.
Yeah.
That's it. If someone sees you before you see them, you lose. In Fortnite, you have a chance. If that bullet whizzes by you, or even if it hits you, you can build something and you can counter. So like you still have a like it might not be the best chance because if someone gets the drop
you
on
don't
you,
know where you're
like you have like. Yeah, it sucks. You got to find them, but you can at least build something around you and like, okay, now I have cover. Okay, get my bearings. Now fight. So I see that too, and I think that also is like the learning curve on PUBG is I think going to be a little more intense because of that. Like you are going to get just killed, and especially if you drop in anywhere where someone else is going to be who's played the game more than you. Like, good luck.
Yeah, right. So more about Fortnite when it comes to the weapons. So it looks like they're working on the weapons mechanics themselves and basically just how they kind of work.
Yep. So they added a new game mode like Sniper Shootout, but this is actually just to kind of test new mechanics in the game. And they wanted to focus specifically on the weapons themselves and making the gunplay better. And some things they've... I thought it was kind of an interesting article here, but... or kind of when they posted on their site, like their patch notes kind of. They basically wanted to... I can't remember. There's two things that they wanted to do with their game, and one was make sure that you couldn't just snipe people with pistols, and then I can't remember what the second one was.
Weapons should have the characteristics that encourage a wide range of engagement based on distance to target type, ammo availability, etc.
Right, so a reason to use them, which I think Fortnite does a really good job of compared to PUBG. Like, there is reasons to use the weapons, all of them, which is like in Fortnite, shotguns are good. PUBG shotguns are good early game. But specifically in this mode, they're like saying, okay, we're changing how weapons work. So if you want to play this, it'll all count here as your stats. So if you get a win, it's still a win. But the weapons are going to play different. They're going to have reduced critical hit damage from like 250 to 150 on the shotgun.
Yep.
And then like 200 to... there was two slightly differences, I think.
All other weapons with headshot crits are now 200 instead of 250.
Yeah, 200 instead of 250. Which, that was one big concern I have, is I think the damage is a little too inconsistent sometimes. And I think that headshot with the shotgun, you just lose. And, like, I understand that, but, like, that's kind of a frustrating thing when you're, like, in a gunfight and then you just die. And it's like, I don't understand why I died. And it's probably because you got critted with a shotgun. And then they're adding some, like, damage fall off, which... doesn't affect sniper rifles and rockets, obviously. But
or shotguns. Shotguns
or
are
shotguns.
Or grenade launchers.
Or grenade launchers. So the area of effect weapons and snipers, basically. And they'll damage fall off to 70% on a variety of distances, I believe.
Oh, cool.
But I think that's actually might be something smart, too. Just because I think... I noticed a lot of times there's these really long-range firefights that you just think, man, that assault rifle is kicking my ass.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, man, it's like, it just hurts. Like, there's no, like, I'm at long range. Like, shouldn't this hurt less?
Well, I think there should be a real penalty for people that want to play this game. Like, oh, hey, I see someone way over there, and I'm going to take pot shots at them and hope.
And they get lucky.
Yeah,
and
they
just
get lucky.
Die, and it's
because
like,
the reality is like, I don't want to, like, Fortnite's a terrible game to bring weapon accuracy into, but, you know, people, except people that shoot a lot of guns, don't realize how inaccurate a pistol is, how inaccurate a machine gun is. Like, they have very finite ranges, and past that, I mean, you think it's a bullet spinning through the air and gravity's working against it, and you know, wind resistance is working against it, and friction's working against it. And Dylan and I were talking the other day, like, part of the reason that those don't factor in as much in Fortnite is that every gun in the game except the sniper rifle uses hit scan. So it's literally a point and click, and where you click is where it hits. And there's no physics being applied to that game. It's effectively like a laser beam. And their sniper rifles are actually modeled like a bullet travels through space, as opposed to PUBG, where a lot of their games are actually physically modeled, you know, bullets, and that makes a huge difference. And it greatly increases the ability for luck to play into a game. So.
And I think that's something, like, I never really thought about that in games before, but now that we have, like, more of these competitive, like, survival-y games where, like, you have one life, so I think you notice it a lot more when these kind of mechanics happen. But I think that would be something that would change how you felt about those really long-range fights, too, is if the bullets had physics, you wouldn't be hitting as often.
Yeah.
Like people, they're just like clicking on your head and hitting you with an assault rifle at just this crazy range because they can see you, rather than having to, like with a sniper rifle. Like you would think that the sniper rifle would be the weapon you would use, but it's actually harder to hit them than with just taking out the assault rifle and shooting a burst.
I think I'm interested too in one of the other changes they're making is that weapons now have first shot accuracy, which reads, when they actually talk about it, a little bit more like an auto aim. But if you're holding still and you're aiming down the barrel of your gun and you haven't fired recently or are using a different weapon, you have a better chance of hitting your first shot, but probably with all these other things factored in, less damage, less, whatever. And I think that's nice because it does give those people that are playing the kind of slow, methodical, thinking about what they're doing, that first strike ability, though.
Right.
So
yeah, I really like that, too, because I think it does kind of simulate there's no reason that someone jumping around like a bunny rabbit should be more accurate than someone who's sitting still taking
I'm always kind of like, I think in those kind of games, I would love to see a better like stamina bar attack, because in real life when you're getting shot, no one ever I mean, your first instinct is never to jump.
Right, that's the last thing you would ever do.
It's such a thing in video games, the bunny hop of trying to evade getting bullets. Like that should really impact your stamina, because I mean, let's go out and run in the parking lot, guys, and try and jump while you're running. It's not easy.
Let's see how long
jump,
you can
run,
do that.
look around and see who's shooting at you. Shoot back, apply a first aid kit, and then jump some more.
Jumping should almost immediately take your stamina out, because it just doesn't make sense. Like weaving, sure, but running and jumping, that's silly.
Yeah, I've never really been a fan of that in any game. Like I understand why it's a part of games, but
people don't do that. It just doesn't make sense.
I think it's just a game thing.
It became really apparent to me in real life too when
he was shooting at people the other day.
You're gonna enjoy this. We went to this crazy overnight laser quest, which laser quest
that sounds amazing.
It is, because laser tag's fun, except we were there with pros.
Yeah.
And so something that the pros do in laser quest, because you have sensors in specific parts of your body, is they stand in a certain way.
Yeah.
So they turn their profile to you because you have a shoulder sensor, and then they lean backwards so that shoulder sensor is pointed higher, and then they hold their weapon up above their head, because there's a sensor on the weapon, but it essentially hides all your sensors except for the one on the barrel of your gun and your top shoulder, and then they do this weird jive, and they were having shootouts in the lobby. It was the stupidest thing ever.
That's
and it's
ridiculous.
No, I don't want to play that. I don't want to play that game. I'm not going to do that. I enjoy Laser Quest for what it is, but
when Fortnite comes to the real
you're not going to
world.
hit anything like that. This is a simulation, and that's the only reason it would work.
Nice.
Real life, let real life take over. It was so hilarious.
That's amazing.
And then we got called LQ noobs.
Oh,
in real life, IRL, it was bad.
It happens.
Oh man.
All right. There's that.
That's going to be a place where AR could be amazing, though. Could you imagine playing laser tag with AR glasses so they can see you and you can see the other people, but your glasses can see the other people too, so you could shoot them and it could actually do accurate body modeling? Oh,
nice. Last little bit of news this week. So Red Dead Redemption 2, it was pushed back, delayed.
October something?
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's October or even later.
No, I think it's October.
I think it was October.
So it's been pushed back, but we've got some leaks.
Yeah. It's nothing.
Some stuff. I didn't play the original game, so I don't know anything about.
Oh, it's so good
about this. I played a little bit on the PS Now service.
Yeah, Vinny actually went back and tried it out and says it doesn't necessarily hold up real well.
Yeah.
So
I had a hard time
for a while.
The game came out in 2011, I want to say. So
I had some issues with the aiming and stuff. I mean, I get where they were going, but I'm curious because there's a bunch of different modes evidently that are coming along.
And so this is going to be the online stuff. Obviously, there's going to be a single player mode that you're going to be able to play in. But what they're talking about is, first of all, is that Red Dead Redemption, of course, I guarantee you that almost every game that it makes sense this year is going to have a Battle Royale mode.
I want to see Mario Odyssey have a Battle Royale mode.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
That'd be great.
I am real intrigued about Red Dead having one, though, if it's done correctly. I mean, period
Old West shootout.
Yeah.
period accurate weapons. So you're using like crappy pistols and crappy rifles and crappy shotguns.
And they patch in a minigun.
You gotta like muzzle load this.
Right.
I mean, they're not quite
musket.
muzzle loading because this is early 1900s. I want to say. I mean, I don't think we know exactly when it's set, but early 19-ish hundreds. So I mean, guns are better than muzzle loaders, but they're not.
Well, it got Civil War weaponry.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
You know. But you're still shooting. That's not the guns you get in Red Dead or in PUBG or the guns you get in Fortnite. So I think that could be really fun. I love the idea of horses. Could you imagine how cool it would be if a guy is running at you with a horse and you shoot the horse first?
Oh, man.
Except for the shooting the horse.
So, I mean, that's the downside.
Right.
But that's really
You
cool.
took the horse out, so he's not going anywhere.
The number of times when I was playing the first Red Dead where you'd be shooting somewhere in front of you and I accidentally shoot my horse in the back of the head, which kills it real dead.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
It happened way more. My brother always makes fun of me because I think he had the same horse for the entire game. I had like 25 of them. I kept shooting my horse. One time I'd because you could whistle for your horse like you do in The Witcher. And I'm like, come here, horse. And the horse is like, okay. And just came in and ran right off a cliff and fell to its death. I'm like, well, crap. Now I got to find another horse.
Right.
And you had to break
Bad
them.
horse.
Yeah, you had to find them and break them to get a new horse. So, but anyway, about the new Red Dead Redemption, it's going to have a battle royale mode. It's going to have a mode called Revive and Survive, and then a money grab mode. Revive and Survive is like a 2-player team where
You got a limited amount of time to res your
teammates, keep them alive, and the last team standing wins. And then money grab is
Is that kind of like a capture the flag?
I think money grab is more like capture the flag.
Yeah, that's what, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, where you have to get bags of money and then keep them somewhere, in your base while the other people try and steal them from you. So
nice. So I know a couple of people in the office. I don't know if anybody's familiar with one of the shows that we have here at one of our stations, but there's a guy there named Jose.
They quite often post their podcast accidentally to our feed. So maybe you are.
There you go. Maybe you know who we're talking about. He's really excited for Red Dead Redemption 2. He says he's been waiting for it for years.
I want to play Red Dead with Jose online just to hear him laugh.
That would be fun.
I'd really like to see a mode. I kind of saw this as old Western cops and robbers.
Oh,
but as Rainbow Six Siege or Payday, where you had to break into the bank and steal the
that'd be
money.
so good.
But you're cowboys. How cool would that be?
I don't wish I could. I
game.
can't scroll back fast enough. But someone in our Discord earlier was saying in the Battle Royale mode, it would be awesome if instead of doing a last man standing, you got down to 2 people and then those 2 people had to do a quick draw to finish the game.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Oh, that'd be great.
That'd be really cool.
Either way, October 26th, 2018.
There you go.
It's going to be good. It's going to be real good.
All right, and that is it for your news this week. And our next segment is always questions. We have got questions this week from Super Hyper Mighty Weapon Man, High Jump, The Dons, Captain Sano 6, Min Lu, and Mansox is here.
He snuck in.
Yeah, I see that. But first, we always start with...
Hey, yo, Vinny. How you doing? Vincenzo, where you at?
He's doing really well because he's going to be 1 year older on
what is he, 14 now?
I know, right?
He still can't drink, but...
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Vinny.
Oh, you can't even drink yet?
No.
I don't know why I broed out, but whatever.
Yeah, bro.
Happy birthday.
Woo, Vinny.
Birthday.
We were going to sing, but then we decided that
that's a real
the
bad
only one of
idea.
us that can sing here is Adam, so...
No.
I sing all
We
right.
can just listen to Adam sing.
I don't know if 3 dudes that probably singing close to the same,
I'll just be the echo.
No, because every week on our stream we fight to get rid of the echo.
I'll be the echo. You start.
If you're just joining our podcast for the first time, if this just happens to be the first one you listen to and you're wondering, why are we taking time out to wish this guy a happy
Welcome.
birthday? Yes, welcome. Where the hell have you been? But to the point I was trying to make, Vinny has been with us from basically the start of our show.
Probably episode 5 or 6.
Yeah, if not earlier. And when we started taking questions, you were out of town.
Yep.
And Well, you were out of town the week that we decided to make this recurring thing. Because Vinny kept sending us really awesome questions every week, and we decided, without you, that we would do a My Cousin Vinny.
I think it's fair.
And he'd lead off our question segments.
Vinny was also one of the very first guys that really made me realize that there was somebody who cared about this. I didn't used to post these. Now I post them like Wednesday night, so they go up first thing Thursday, like Thursday at midnight, Thursday at 1 o'clock in the morning. But before, I do it when I got to work. And I got in one day, and I was like, I had to take a test at school beforehand, and so I was like, it'll post up at like 10 or 10:30. And Vinny hit me up. He's like, dude, where's the podcast? And I'm like, A, who are you? And B, why do you care?
Why are you fiending for our podcast?
It's like, listen in the morning. I'm like, all right, I'll do it real soon then.
There you go. So, so happy birthday, Vinny, and thanks for being with us from the get-go.
Definitely.
We really appreciate it. And, now on to your question.
There we go.
Which is a very interesting question. All right, Vinny asks, the Byte Me crew, all three of you, have been chosen to partake as a rotating trio in 3 different esports teams. Each one of you get to pick one multiplayer game that you will play for your esport game. How successful will the Byte Me team be in each of the esports? It can be any multiplayer game, even if it doesn't currently have an official esport.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ay.
Oh, I remember what mine was. Yeah.
Do you want to go first?
Mario Party.
I've never played Mario Party.
That's okay. I am good enough and fast enough at the button mashy thing on those certain games where you have to repeatedly hit a button. We will win.
What is Mario Party?
Mario Party, okay, so Mario Party is a board game on screen, and all your little avatars are basically the board pieces.
All right.
And you move around the board. You roll the dice and you move around the board. Certain parts of the board have mini games. And you go into these little mini games where you have to.
Oh, this sounds fun.
You have to go fishing, or you have to pick up penguins off of ice and throw them into your bucket or something.
And you think we could be competitive?
Oh, yeah.
I think that'd actually be a really interesting esport game. Like, I think it'd be funny to have just like, you would have your team, and all the mini games that are in Mario Party, but you never would know which ones you draw. Like, I think that would be the esport, is like they randomly put you in 4 best out of 5, let's say, best out of 5 mini games, and you never know which 5 your team's going to get, and that's the competition.
Right. There's so many parts around the board that it's like, oh, you just got bonked back 8 spaces, and if you land on each other, then you have to do a one-on-one mini game. Yeah,
I think fun. That sounds really fun. What is this, a GameCube game?
There's been 10
of them?
Oh,
10 or 11 of them?
How have I...
Mario Party 4 was on the N64. Huh. That's the one I think I played a lot of.
They had and they just had that one Mario Party game announced for the 3DS that's got like Mario Party All-Stars or something, and it's like the best games across all of the Mario Party games in one.
That sounds super fun.
Yeah,
I'm down. I will
esport the crap.
We're going to get the racing chairs, though, right?
Oh, totally.
Okay.
Because I got to be comfortable.
I'm not going to have to wear, like, some sort of weird suit, though, right?
Yes, you have to wear a weird suit.
Ooh, I'm not going to look good in those.
Every esports team has a uniform.
Yeah, I mean, they're nice.
Well,
you're going to get sweaty. You want something that
breathes,
wicks that away.
You're going to get sweaty. All right, that works.
That's my game, and yes, we would kill it.
I like it.
Play.
I like it.
Hard.
How about you? You got one?
Man, I think you should go first.
All right. Well, I'm going to pick Rocket League because it's the only multiplayer game that I'm even remotely good at. And unfortunately, I don't know. Do you think we'd be able to be competitive? I think after a while we could be. Like, I think we could, with some practice and some diligence. I think we could probably make a good
$5 words like diligence.
Diligence, and I think we'd make an entertaining Rocket League team because I've played with Adam before. And Adam just almost spit Mountain Dew all over me.
Yeah.
And he is... I like playing Rocket League with Adam more because he's...
A wordsmith.
A wordsmith. That is exactly the word I was looking for. Than he is a terrific player. He's not bad, but God, it's so much fun to listen to Adam scream as he...
The only reason I'm bad is because you keep blowing me up in demolitions. That's the only reason I'm bad at Rocket League.
That is pretty funny, though.
But you got to be on your toes or your wheels.
You've got to be on your toes.
But I'm like
I am good at blowing people up. That is true. So I mean, maybe we would take a different play style.
Oh,
I could be the
keep
guy in
them
the
off
background.
the field, and you put the ball in the goal. We win.
That's a very good idea.
I'm always the guy who I immediately
ball.
take off each round and somehow manage to fly over everything.
Yeah. It's fun.
And then I just string together combinations of words. I'm like what the mad scientist tried to do with like a cow and a frog. I do that with words.
It's true. Yeah. It's true. It's good.
I think we would be okay though.
Yeah,
I think we have potential.
I think we have some real
Rocket
potential.
League.
Yeah,
we stand
a lot of grinding, but that's okay.
Man, I don't really know what game I'm going to pick, though.
Well, we gave you time.
Yeah,
We spread this podcast across 2 days.
Am I trying to pick something that's just for
what's your
comic
favorite
relief,
multiplayer game?
Or am I picking something that we can have a chance at?
Do you think if we got a fourth player, we could be PUBG competitive?
Not
Yeah, not me.
No.
Well, you know what? No. You know, I might be able to.
I've seen you play.
survived
You're
long
pretty
enough.
good, actually.
I'm not bad.
I'm a really good. I like to think of myself as like a green mushroom for the other players on my team, because I'm almost always behind everyone else and I'm almost always the first one to die. So sometimes the opposing teams will kill me first and give my teammates time to take cover or shoot the other person.
Yeah. GTFO, yeah.
I don't live, but I serve a purpose. Dang it!
Yeah, I mean, I think we could do okay at that too. Because
I think we might be more Fortnite people.
Yeah, Yeah, let's get on Fortnite.
All right.
I think we'll play competitive Fortnite.
All right.
I think the team survival element is a lot easier to get better at than playing solo. So I think we have a chance.
Perfect. I like it.
right.
I like it. Is that good enough for you, Vinny?
Let's wait for his answer.
No, let's not do that.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be.
Yeah,
Right.
He has no choice.
Well, thank you, Vinny. Thank you for the question, and happy early birthday, or happy
birthday.
however, whenever you listen to this. You listen to this the day we posted, so happy early birthday. And you're listening right now. So,
Good man.
anyway. All right, on to super hyper...
Super hyper mighty weapon man.
Thank you. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time with that. So if you've been listening to the last couple of episodes, this has been an ongoing saga. And last week, Cliff and Dylan died.
Oh,
So
Why did
Adam
I die?
because
it's just how it goes.
Did I hit my head on something?
Yeah.
'Cause
I think we were in VR last year. You just didn't make it out, man.
something like that.
Yeah.
Adam is now at level 3 alone after Dylan and Cliff died at level 2. Adam now has to face his greatest threat, a fusion of Kratos and Duke Nukem. For him to beat Kratos Nukem, he has to use his rarest weapons in Breath of the Wild that only have one attack before breaking. Can Adam beat Kratos Nukem so he can escape, or will the ghosts of his fallen friends keep him from leaving? And you know what? I read this wrong yesterday. I thought it was rarest weapon, not rarest weapons.
Sure.
So now I'm screwed. So when I thought it was just rarest weapon, singular, and it breaks after one hit, and I'm like, well, that means I just have to hit him one time in this supposed thing. So if I hit him one time and it breaks, that means I win.
Yeah.
There was my logic. But now since it's more than one weapon,
Is it more than one weapon?
well, it says weapons.
I think you're just going to try to beat him with sticks.
Well,
Stick and a
I,
break.
I beat one of those rock things in Breath of the Wild with a stick.
Jeez, really?
Yeah.
Those things are
It was really
rough.
difficult. A lot of sticks.
A lot of sticks. It's too much. Do you think that, a combination of Kratos and Duke Nukem, I mean, a cigar-chewing, God-killing...
Foul-mouthed
lot.
womanizer.
Any
giant.
mortal man.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you think you could do... I mean, how many sticks does it take... does it take to kill that?
Well, so Rusty Sword.
And how many can you carry?
You know what? First of all, let's think about the Rusty Sword part. It's rusty.
Are you giving him tetanus?
Therefore, it's full of nasty bacteria and old nastiness.
He's already filled with nasty bacteria.
well,
It's Duke Nukem.
But a
Is-
bad
is your-
attitude isn't bad bacteria.
Are you really
Some of the
thinking...
clubs he's hung out with.
Is this going to be like some
He's
sort
got
of
bacteria.
long game for you where you're like, he may have killed me now, but damn it, Lockjaw's going to take him down?
He's going to win the war.
I don't know if I could beat him.
Oh.
I don't know if I could.
Is this where it ends?
I mean, if I had to die to Kratos Nukem, I'm pretty sure that would be a Hall of Fame or Hall of Glory something. I would get some kind of accolade for dying in that
I guess the
fight.
question is can Dylan and I as ghosts help you out? Like, would a Dylan and Cliff ghost help in that battle?
So, what was that game that you played or there's a game coming out where your other heroes fall and you can res them and they help you fight?
Oh, yeah. No heroes here?
Something like that.
Something, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So-
actually that's a good point. Yeah.
Your ghosts are obviously around. Now, if I can res them and you can help me, maybe I can distract them long enough
Yeah, it's a good point.
to do that. I don't think you're around. I think you're literally just hanging around looking
It's not
at
no
me.
heroes here. That's that fourth
that
view.
castle game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what it
Next
was.
Up Hero. Next Up
Next Up
Hero.
Hero.
There we
That's
go.
what it is.
Yeah. No, I think Next Up Hero actually is a very good template for how Dylan and I could help you take
Yeah.
down. I think with the help of us,
If that mechanic was there.
I'm actually just going to give you a wedgie and make it harder.
Right.
For you to succeed. I died.
He's like, is team killing on?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to say if we had next up hero mechanics in play, which I'm going to guess not because he didn't put them in here, then I would say, yeah, I've got a chance. Without that, though, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to put up hardly any of a fight and die almost immediately, so Cliff and Dylan wouldn't be dead for long by themselves.
Oh, that's very sweet of you.
I wouldn't be doing it to join you on purpose.
It'll be like Star Wars, where at the end of Star Wars with me and you and Yoda, it'll be perfect.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I like it.
So yeah, I think that's where I'd die. I really would.
Bummer.
Plus, I've never played a Duke Nukem game, so I have no idea how he plays.
You're not missing much.
Yeah, but I don't know how he plays.
All right, fair.
Very
he plays with
aggressively.
arrow keys instead of WASD. It's real confusing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's old school,
God.
man.
And he also smokes cigars, and those really just gross me out so much. They make me gag. I
Same.
cannot concentrate around the smell of a cigar.
Same.
Really? Oh, yeah. I lose all focus.
Same.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
I find cigar smoke to be very tolerable in comparison to...
It's better than cigarette smoke.
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
Okay.
those aren't even in the same...
Either way, I think they're all
Game.
gross.
Yeah.
Thank you, Super Hyper... that guy.
Super hyper mighty weapon man.
There you go.
Thanks for killing us all. Appreciate it. All right, up next, the high jump. With so many games relaunching on the Switch, Doom, Skyrim, Wolfenstein, Bayonetta 1 and 2, and even Night in the Woods, how often do you rebuy games on a new system for a different experience? Well, you, Cliff?
More often than I should.
Right?
I don't do it a ton, but I definitely do it. And recently when I've done it, it's been games that came out like cross generation. Like I rebought Grand Theft Auto 5 and I rebought Diablo 3, where I'd owned both of those on the 360, and I traded them in and then bought the Xbox One version. So I don't do it often, but man, with a bunch of the Switch games coming out right now, it is so tempting. I saw Night in the Woods. I'm literally in the middle of playing Night in the Woods on the PC, and I'm like, oh, but man, that'd be so portable on the Switch. I could play it in bed.
But how close you're in the middle of it? Like
I'm like
finish
3
on the
hours
PC.
in. It's only like an 8-hour game.
Do you have the DLC or the new story content they added?
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
Then...
yeah. So I'm not gonna do it, but dang, it's so tempting. I've almost bought Skyrim on the Switch. I don't even know how many times, just because I want to play Skyrim, but I don't really think I want to dedicate 100 hours to it on the PC. But I might be able to squeak in, 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there if I had it portable. So too often, and it's just going to get worse.
I think one of the only games that I've bought more than one copy of are Rocket League.
Oh, God, I have 5 copies of Rocket League.
I've got that
I probably
on the
have 20
PS4
copies of Minecraft.
And PC. I've got 2 copies of Devil May Cry, the DMC, the
Sure.
remake, the reboot thing that just came out a few years ago. Got 2 copies of that. I don't double dip a whole lot.
Yeah, I guess if
when
we're
it comes to
counting
games.
that, I have 5 copies of Rocket League because I've bought 2 on PC. I've bought it on the Xbox and the PS4 and the Switch. And I probably have, I'm going to guess, 10 copies of Minecraft.
Wow.
Because I've bought it. 2 copies on the PC. I have it on the 360. I guess that came free to the Xbox. I have it on the PS4. I have it on the PS3. I have it on the Switch. I have it on phone and tablet. I mean, and there's
I've got 2 copies of Super Mario Run.
and there's probably places I'm not thinking about it. So yeah.
Dylan, do you repurchase games for new experiences, or do you do more? Like I'm more the guy that would buy the HD remaster.
Yeah.
Just for the
like
upgraded visuals.
That's happened a few times. Like, I think I got the God of War remasters, so I could play those and have them not look like turd or dungus. But
turd or what?
Dungus.
Oh,
It's like
that's
dingus
poop.
dungus. Dingus dungus.
Sure.
Anyway, GTA 5 was one of those because we had this really weird time right at the end of the PS3, Xbox 360 life where all these good games that really had good graphics for the system they were on, like Last of Us and, Last of Us mostly on the PS3 and then GTA 5, like, we're right at the tail end of those systems and really probably should have just been made for the new system.
I actually did that with
wouldn't
Last
have
of
to
Us
buy it
2, but I didn't buy either copy of it. My brother gave me the PS3
nice.
version, and I traded it in with a gift card from a coworker to get the HD remaster.
Other than that, I've bought a few games for other platforms to play with other people to have a different experience because, like, my PC friends are different than my Xbox friends. So playing Overwatch here and Overwatch there is...
The more you start saying this, like, I own 2 copies of PUBG, I own 2 copies of Overwatch.
Yeah, I mean, it is a little bit of a different experience, whether you're playing mouse and keyboard and playing with a different group of people or not. I am excited at the idea of rebuying games on my Switch that were old Wii U games that I can have a little bit longer life on them. Bayonetta in particular, I didn't buy it before, but man, I was tempted to all the time, and I am so happy that it is coming out on Switch this month.
Yeah.
So I can play both of those for the first time. I'm very excited about that. However, I don't, even with like Doom and Skyrim on the Switch, I don't think that's something I'm going to necessarily double dip into stuff like that. Stuff I've really played before.
I tell you, man, Skyrim dips below like $25.
It tempts me, but
it's still a $60 game.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of Switch stuff I want to play that's not Skyrim. So that's gonna step in front of the line. Because I do like, my Switch is kind of my fun, like, I go play this by myself system, whereas when I'm usually on the PC or Xbox, I'm playing with people. But I take my Switch to bed with me and snuggle for an hour or so at night and play Mario Rabbids or whatever it is. Soon it's going to be Bayonetta.
They're fuzzy and cuddly.
It's going to be Dragon Quest Builders on Friday when that comes in.
I thought it launched today.
I think it came out, but Amazon said it's coming.
Oh, the 9th.
Amazon said its release date is the 9th, though, so I don't know. I don't know what the actual release date is, but
nice.
I'm going to play it on Friday.
Nice.
Cool. Well, there you go. High Jump, thanks for the question. All right. The Dons, this is a new...
dude in our he's been in our
Discord
for a little while. So I believe this is his first question, though.
Sweet. All right, the Don asks, one of your coworkers lost a bet and their punishment was that they had to play a game of your choice to completion. What game would you pick for them?
Ooh.
Did they lose a bet or they just piss me off?
Either way.
Okay.
Yeah. And I kind of enjoy this kind of forced thing where I can make them play a horrible game.
Yeah.
Ooh. I mean, God, there's so many good choices.
Yeah.
E.T. for the Atari is a good choice.
Because you can't play that game to completion,
Superman
can you?
64 on the N64 is a good choice.
Rude.
Man, I wasn't going to go that hard.
There was this awesome paintball game that came out, I'm going to say...
Splatoon.
No, it was called something paintball. I can't remember exactly what it was, but the developers literally didn't have time to make the game and also make AI for the game. So, literally the people you'd be playing against would just, run into a wall and run there until you shot them. That
really?
might be kind of fun.
That's terrible.
I would probably make them play Resident Evil 7 in VR.
In VR.
Yeah, in VR. And they would have to allow... people to be in the room with them to actually touch them when the scare
super
a
4D
experience kind of thing.
I love that idea.
Can you put rotting meat in the room with them?
Oh, gross!
God, you could, you could have not even touching the person. Could you imagine how much fun you could have?
Blow on there.
That or super ghouls and ghosts.
Yeah.
Or Super Ghosts and Goblins or whatever it is.
Yeah. No, one of those super hard. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy or Zork, some sort of text adventure. You have to type everything kind of game.
And you have to hope that you type it in right. What would you choose?
I'm going to pick Bloodborne.
Oh. They might like that. Nobody knows.
Anyway, it's hard and you're going to have to finish it.
Yeah.
If I was going to... If I wanted to be a little nicer and give you a good game to play that was hard, it'd be Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe some there was a lot of turn-based strategy games in the 90s that were really, really deep into Civil War battle recreations that also looked terrible though. That could be a lot of fun.
Nice. It could be fun. Thank you, the Duns, for getting us your question. Appreciate it. All right, I had trouble pronouncing this one, but it's Captain
Insano.
Captain Insano or Captain Insano?
I think it's Captain Insano, but...
Okay, Captain Insano 6.
CPAT is Captain, right?
Gotcha.
Yes.
Insano.
Oh, gotcha.
But it also looks like Captain.
Captain. Or Captain.
I don't understand.
Captain Insano.
I write in full words.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm Adam.
I don't believe you at all.
I really don't.
Adam West Prod.
Lol. Right? You don't know me.
What do you prod, Adam?
That's for a different show. Captain Insano 6 asks, if you could create your own game, what type of game would you want? What genre would it be? First or third person? Would it focus mainly on single player story or online multiplayer? And if single player, what kind of story would it be?
So this is something I think about a lot.
Really?
Yeah, because I've wanted to be a game developer forever.
Make a game then.
Yeah, once I get done with school, I probably will. Cool. I mean, that's why I was a computer science major for a long time, because I really wanted to get into game development. And for years, it was something that I'm like, oh, this looks really cool. And then you read about how awful the industry is and how much you have to work and just, destroys lives and families and stuff. And so I was like, maybe I'll just take one of these web development jobs. That sounds easier. But now with kind of the research into indie tools and, small 1, 2, 3 person teams, it's something that I think about a lot. Mm-hmm. Probably offhand, I have 2 games that I've always wanted to make. And one is I've always wanted, and this one is one that I don't think was technologically possible before and may not even be now, but probably will be soon, is I've always wanted to create a game that was a mashup of like a real-time strategy game and a first-person shooter, like a Call of Duty kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So,
like Call of XCOM.
Yeah, and so some of you are like, the proverbial boots on the ground, guys getting in tanks and being infantry and whatever. But the way you're getting spawned and directed where to go is because there's 1 or 2 people playing a real-time strategy game on top of you, and we need people to start making tanks, and so tanks start getting built and then a guy can get in it, and we need this infantry to go over here and attack this thing, and you get a command, okay guys, we need to head west into this thing, and so you actually, it's not just a first-person, Call of Duty game where people just get randomly spawned behind enemy lines and there's spawn points, and then you run off into the fray and just start shooting people. It's actually like a coordinated military real-time strategy game, but your units are actual people, and so their pathfinding is actual people, and their fighting is actual people, living and dying in this game. But I think it would have to be big enough that you could have 150, 200 people in a game to make it seem big enough and to enable it to grow and fill all these different roles and stuff, and with up until recently a big multiplayer game was a 32 person game or maybe a 64 person game, but PUBG is pushing that up to almost 100, and as servers get faster and computers get faster, I presume you'll be able to take that up to 150, 200, where that kind of game would actually really work. So,
what would your second type of game be? Because you said you had 2.
This one, I don't even know what kind of game it would be, but like I was actually talking to Dylan about this the other day. I was looking at. Someone asked me. I used to live outside of Detroit, and I was looking at maps of Detroit, and there's this island in southern Detroit called Zug Island. And if you look at it from, look at it on a Google map.
It's kind of creepy.
It is. And it's literally, like the city of Detroit's around it, and Zug Island is literally just this black.
It's like Area 50 or Area 52 or Area.
And it's a place where they refine heavy metals. Are you familiar?
Like, is that where Metallica went from miners?
Are you familiar with the song "The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald"?
Yes.
Yes. See,
I'm like, wait a minute. Yes.
Yes, you are. That ship was on its way to Zug Island, and
really?
So it's they refine. But if you go to the Wikipedia page about it, there's all these weird things where
there's like weird noises and
strange vibrations that come out of Zug Island, and they can't really figure out. It's obviously just part of some refining process,
right?
But they don't let people on it. There's no photography allowed on the island. And so it's this really weird, like corporate.
You can't go on the island.
You can't go on the island, but and so it's super high security. And I want to set a game there where strange things start happening, and like someone, like you have to sneak onto the base, onto this island to find out what's going on. And, I don't know what it is past there. It's zombies or it's aliens or it's, some weird corporation doing horrible experiments or something. But I think it's the perfect, like Detroit and that island is like the perfect place to set something. I just haven't figured out what yet.
It could totally be like a Stranger Things kind of thing too,
totally,
right?
It could be a Stranger Things
building
kind of
where they have some portal to somewhere.
Yep. The possibilities are really cool and kind of based in reality. So yeah.
Dylan, what would you make?
I kind of pitched this idea earlier, and I think it's the coolest thing ever. But it would be cowboys, like outlaw cops and robbers, like Wild West, but in the style of Payday, Counter-Strike, and Rainbow Six Siege, where you're setting up a bank heist, or you have to go do the bank heist, and the cops come, and you're trying to get out, or, I mean, there'd be different scenarios.
Instead of hearing sirens, you'd hear horses galloping.
Right. And I think there's a lot of potential for that kind of break into an old bank with revolvers and TNT instead of, C4 and bulletproof vests and all these machine guns. Like, I'm always interested to play games where you have to use more archaic forms of weaponry. Like,
well, the thing about dynamite in the late 1800s, early 1900s is that stuff's not stable.
Right.
Like, that can just blow up randomly.
It's not quiet either. Like, everybody's going to know what you're doing.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's a really cool idea.
I think, there could be different mechanics in the game that you don't have. Like, you can't run too fast with dynamite. Like, you have to apply it slow and have more time to set it. I think there's a lot of possibilities there, and I think that's a really cool game somewhere in there.
Like the mechanics of guns jamming and,
if you you have to have a timed reload, like what Gears of War did or whatever. Yep. Maybe there's a mechanic where you have to time your reload. So, or you have to clean your weapon.
Well, the reality that, a 6-shooter only shoots 6 bullets, and a rifle in those days shot
1 to 4.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
A shotgun shoots 1, maybe
around.
2.
Really?
You're funny.
I went shooting with one of my buddies a few weekends ago, and his dad has an old lever-action cavalry rifle. Yeah. Like, it's a short barrel, like, shooting off of a horseback rifle. And, I think you put 4 or 5 bullets in with a little plunger, and then...
That's crazy.
That just scares the crap out of me. Guns freak me out. I don't like guns.
It was so cool. Like, it was so cool to shoot
There's just no way. My dad's the same way. My dad's got a bunch of, like, guns from World War I, World War II. I'm like,
nope.
There's no part of me that wants to pick up a thing with a little teeny explosive in it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's 90 years old. I'm good. Thanks, Dad.
It was so cool.
Yeah. Well... When we start calling Dylan, Dylan Four Fingers,
I've blown up a lot of stuff, in the backyard.
As far as my game goes, I don't know for sure, but I know that it would probably be something like a Metroidvania, just because I love those style of games.
Same, man.
Because I like the platforming, I like the hack and slash in a lot of them. I just like that action platformer mechanic.
Same.
I like that, but I like the exploration and the secrets and the discovery and the backtracking and having to go through all these places and remember where you've been and
that being said, I think I want to make my Zug Island game like an ARPG, like either it would be a great Metroidvania, or like a really good like ARPG like Diablo style.
Are there any like 3D or first person Metroidvanias?
Man, Epic made a 2.5D one that was really fun, and I'm totally spacing on what it's called. It's really, I've actually beaten it.
Because maybe I don't know if I've ever seen a Metroidvania in 3D.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that would be possible. I mean, I know it'd be possible for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's.
But would that just be too massive of an undertaking? Shadow Complex?
Is really good. It's a 2.5D, so you mostly are side-scrolling, but then you can shoot back into the...
Yeah,
really?
It's really interesting. I think I played a demo of it or
really
something, but
game.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to explain what that is, but there is a way to be in a 3-dimensional space without actually moving 3-dimensionally
I guess when you think about a Metroidvania, like... Doom is kind of a Metroidvania where you've got,
not
go hit all these buttons.
The maps are really big, but it's like push this button to
get
open
these
a thing
keys,
here.
Open this thing.
It doesn't have quite that. Hey, I'm getting new weapons that allow me to traverse the places I haven't been able to get to before. I can jump higher. I can use this gun to melt through things now. So it's not quite as backtracky as a Metroidvania usually is, but it's kind of the same idea.
Yeah.
But a first-person Metroidvania could be really interesting where you get new powers and new...
If it's done right.
Yeah.
It'd be really difficult to do. And don't ask me to do it.
I think it'd be really hard just because I think it's easier in 2D to visualize where you've been and where you're going.
Yeah.
Right.
Whereas in 3D,
If you're
it's
just
a
running
hard
around, you
space,
kind of get
yeah.
lost.
It's really easy to get
the
lost.
platforming element to it, because I think that's
Yeah.
a big part of it.
Yeah.
And we know 3D platforming is not the coolest
Should
thing.
never exist.
But
Thank you,
a good
Captain
question.
Insano, for that
Yeah.
one. Minlu asks, dogs or cats?
And this is just a random question I got on Twitter. This
Love
guy
it.
followed us and then just put that to me. I didn't know if he wanted me to answer there or if it was a question for the podcast, but hey, whatever.
Hey, it's on the podcast. Dogs
Yeah.
or cats? I don't care. Either one.
You're critter agnostic.
Yes.
I love dogs, and I love other people's cats. But I'm not, I had cats growing up. Cats are great. But I'm not a fan of an animal that craps in my house. So,
see, I agree with that. And growing up, my cats never did that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and my cats
all
are
my animals pooped outside.
See, and that's my thing is my cats are outdoor cats, but I'm not a big fan of outdoor cats either.
Yeah.
Wait, would they
So-
poop in your house or would they poop in a litter box?
In a litter box.
It's still in your, it still smells.
Yeah.
You cannot. That smell is always there.
Yeah.
I don't. If you have a cat in your house, I know when I walk in. If your
On
house
the flip
isn't
side, your cat's
in-
adorable, Adam.
My cat is
Oh, yeah.
evil, terrible.
Oh, evil, but so cute. So cute.
Yeah, he's pretty cute.
Jeez, she, right.
sorry.
She. I just remember when we came over to your house that one time.
She's like, new people, hello,
Yeah.
I must love you.
Yeah, she just sat on Dylan's lap the entire time. Was like, hey.
Right.
I love animals.
I
so.
love pets in general. I mean, one of the cool things that Dylan and I get to do is we go out and shoot at a couple local humane societies.
Shoot video
and photos. We do not shoot animals. Every other
I
week,
can't.
and it's awesome to go out and just get a bunch of puppies every couple of weeks. It's great. It's fun.
fun.
You should come with.
Pigs are great pets too. I had a pig
Pigs are great
for
pets.
15 and a half years.
I had a pet duck for a couple of years.
I've had dogs and cats. I had a horse and a cow.
Wow.
We had a pet squirrel for a little while where we nursed it back to health.
That's
it
cool.
fell out of a tree and broke its leg, so we fixed that and set it free. We tried to fix a bat that my cat got. He didn't make it, though.
Bats are
so we had a
awesome.
little pet bat for a little while.
Oh, God.
Bats are so cool. They're like little flying doggos. I love them.
Yeah. I had a buddy that his dad was a vet, so they just had a ton of animals. But you would go over to his house, and this lumbering tortoise would come out of the garage and greet you at the front door.
I totally-
just wandering outside.
I want a tortoise for my backyard. It could just eat my grass. It would be great. I'd save
We'll
a
get a
bunch of
goat.
money. Oh, goat would be great.
We've had goats, too.
I've actually
I forgot
thought
about
about, I've got a side yard in my house that's really overgrown. It's overgrown with blackberries, which are super invasive
You
in
can
Seattle.
rent goats.
I've thought about renting goats.
That's so funny.
Do it.
We should get into goat renting.
Oh.
We should be the goat renters.
There is literally a local Seattle goat rental place.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
down in
crazy.
Portland, they did it before
Yeah.
I moved. There was this big area that they tore down this old warehouse or whatever, and it was just they just let the field kind of
Yep.
go because they needed to sell it, whatever,
Yep.
and it got overgrown. And all of a sudden, one day, I was riding my bike to work, and I look over, I'm like, why is there a weird little pen in the middle of this field now? And goats. And the goats were there for
Yep.
probably 2-3 months cleaning it up.
Yep, they did it in Seattle too.
Yeah.
That's so
on
crazy.
I-5 by the convention center.
Yeah.
it was super overgrown. I saw a time lapse of just these goats, and it went
Going
from
to town.
being this crazy overgrown thing to just dirt. It was crazy.
All right, thank you for that question. And the last one, Man Socks wants to know, what is your favorite movie and band of all time? Like, if you had to listen to one band and watch one movie over and over for the rest of your life,
Oh, jeez.
what would it be?
Yeah, his choices were Ghostbusters and Rush. Ghostbusters is a great movie. I'm not sure about Rush.
Oh, yeah. I like Rush, don't get me wrong, but that voice, man, for
Yeah, I get
ever,
that.
That's exactly
I
what I
would
said.
die.
Geddy
think I
Lee,
could.
I cannot do forever.
I would actually.
Yeah.
I don't think I would survive.
Yeah.
No.
Actually.
Y'all will probably punch me in the face.
No.
Yeah, probably.
It's fine. Does it have to be a band or a singer?
I can.
Maybe Celine Dion.
Celine Dion.
Sorry.
Celine Dion is
I love Celine.
She's an amazing vocalist,
She
though.
is.
She is
I do. I
absolutely
love her.
fabulously talented.
artist
Not
of my life.
Not my jam, but
Yeah,
she is
yeah.
really good. She's very good.
Movie? You're gonna slap me again. Beauty and the Beast, the original animated Disney version.
There's nothing wrong with that movie, man. That
There's
movie.
nothing, I didn't say there was anything wrong with it.
I've seen that twice in IMAX, and it is
Oh, it's so good.
So good.
I love that movie.
Yeah, same.
I love it. So that's what
Yeah.
I would
I'm a
listen
huge
to
Disney
and
nerd,
watch.
though. So
Forever.
That's, if I'm going to watch it over and over and over again, is that Groundhog's Day? Is that makes
I think
sense, right?
basically.
I watched Groundhog's Day last Friday on Groundhog's Day, and it's God, that movie's so top notch. For me, movie wise, it would probably be The Princess Bride. I
such a good
love that
movie.
movie, and I've seen it a million times, so it's pretty much like I've seen it a million times anyway.
Right.
I actually just read, how do you say his last name? Carrie
Yules.
I just read his book he wrote about the making of The Princess Bride too. It was really good.
Oh, I bet that was really good.
It was really good. Favorite band, I can barely get to a top 10.
Right.
I don't know if I could pick, I don't know, some with a really big discography.
Right.
Because I'm a huge Jimi Hendrix fan, but the dude only has 4 albums. I don't know if I could, I'm a huge Pink Floyd fan, but again, they don't have a ton of albums.
Right.
I love Flogging Molly. I love Drive By Truckers. I saw them in concert on Friday.
And the Beatles got a lot of songs, but
the
they're
Beatles,
short.
God, the Beatles is a very good choice, though.
I don't know.
They're a very good choice. I love Neil Young. I love Jethro Tull. I'd have a really, really hard time narrowing that down to a single band, especially because I tend to the way I listen to music is I'll listen to a ton of one type of music for a while, and then I don't want to listen to that anymore, and I'll move into another kind. I listen to a lot of classic rock, and then I listen to a lot of punk, and then I listen to a lot of alt country, and then I listen to a lot of video game soundtracks, and then it just kind of depends on what I'm in the mood for. But I tend to kind of cycle through genres for a month or two, so it'd be real hard for me to pick. How about you? Primus?
That wouldn't be a bad choice.
I've been listening to a lot of Primus lately.
Wouldn't be a bad choice. It's a choice, though.
Man, it is tough because I want to think of you want a lot of different songs. You just want a variety. So what band has albums that are a little bit different than the
Limp
other
Bizkit.
one? I do love Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, but not forever.
That's a top choice. But
Unexpected answer from you, but okay.
Metallica, I think, is a good choice.
Metallica would be a good choice.
I'm a person that really enjoys everything they've done. Like when they did the whole 90s thing and kind of switched their style and people didn't like it and some people liked it. I think that's some of the best stuff they've done.
I've loved everything Metallica's done since the 80s. And their new album's terrific.
I think that's a good choice. You get a lot of value with that choice because you have a lot of albums, you have long songs, and you have some variety.
Oh, there you go.
So I think Metallica is a solid choice. Other than that, it would be I really like Deftones. They've really evolved their. They've
just
evolved.
One Pepsi?
Just what?
Just one Pepsi?
Yes.
No, that's Suicidal Tendencies. Never mind. Screw me.
I'm not connecting.
The Deftones are also very good, though.
Yeah.
They've evolved their sound a lot over the years and have 7 really great albums that sound different, and then Queens of the Stone Age might be the other one because they do have a lot of. They have a sound to each album.
I don't know, their one big song. What's it called?
Yeah.
No one knows.
Yeah, I could listen to that song over and over and over again. I love just the beat of that song.
Well, thankfully, he didn't say pick a song.
Yeah.
Because that would be really rough.
I tell you, man.
Pick one song.
Picking a band. I might be able to pick a decade. I don't know. Maybe Jethro Tull would be the band for me, though, because they're very, their complete discography is very varied, from very rocky sounds to very bluesy sounds to very prog rock sounds to very strange acoustic minstrelly sounds. So that might work.
Movie-wise, that's hard.
Yeah.
Because you are a movie guy.
Would I take Pulp Fiction? I don't know.
Pulp Fiction's a good choice, man.
That's a good choice, but I
don't know if I could see that scene with Uma Thurman. And the
Do I stab her 3 times? No, just once.
Yeah.
That scene freaks me out every time.
You shot Marvin in the face. Oh, you hit a bump. I didn't hit a bump.
I don't, man.
Yeah,
it's
Pulp
hard.
Fiction, maybe.
Pulp Fiction, maybe, or one of the Godfathers. I don't know.
I love Disney movies so much that there's probably 15 Disney movies I could choose. 30 Disney movies. Wall-E's so
Wall-E
good.
Is one of my favorites.
Every single Pixar show.
I don't count that as a Disney movie, even though I know it technically is. But I count that's a Pixar movie for me.
Yeah.
But I love that movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I love everything Pixar's done. There's not a bad Pixar movie. Maybe the Good Dinosaur. It was only okay.
It was all right.
Yeah.
Final answer: Pulp Fiction, maybe.
It's hard.
I know.
You don't get to choose.
I'm going to take the last Quentin Tarantino movie, whichever one it is.
Whatever it's going to be.
He's making one more, so.
He says one more.
Well, he said he's going to do 10 movies and he's done.
I might be done with Quentin Tarantino. But I don't know, man.
Everything he's done has been A+ top notch, so.
It's been close. Man Sox, thank you for that question, and that is it for our questions. So let's wrap this thing up. Cheap free games this week. There is a few Humble bundles going on. Yeah. There's the Best of 2017, which I think we might have talked about before.
We've not talked about any of these.
Really?
These all dropped.
I remember Dead by Daylight being.
It's because it's because it's in the Best of 2017.
Gotcha.
Yeah, this all dropped this week. It was like Humble just kind of went blah. They released another one today. It's a book one though.
Oh, who reads? Ew.
I read.
Okay, well that was a joke, but thanks for making me feel.
Well, it's not
dumb.
a joke when two of us read. And
yeah,
you
no,
don't.
the Best of 2017 is real good though. It's got Five Nights at Freddy's. It's got Goat Simulator, which is stupid but
it's stupid
real fun. Yeah, it's got Death Road to Canada, which is amazing, and you can get Dead by Daylight. All those for $10 or less.
Right.
So for $1, you can get some pretty good games.
Can I get Goat Rental Simulator?
No. The mobile bundle is also really, really good. If you have an Android, or I actually was looking yesterday. I think you can sideload these onto a Kindle if you have a Kindle Fire.
I do have a Kindle Fire.
There you go. Splitter Critters is incredible. It's the only game my wife has 100% beat in the past 5 years, and she adored that game. It's amazing.
These are all Android bundle?
Yep.
Oh.
It also has Oxygen Free, which
that's crazy.
is incredible. You can get Oxygen Free for less than $5 right now and get Splitter Critters. And then you can also get Death Road to Canada mobile and Party Hard Go, which is supposed to be incredible as well. And those are all less than, you can get the mobile bundle for less than $5. $5 or less.
And the Humble Bundle VR sale.
Yeah, there's some great games in here. Doom VR, which just came out.
VFR.
Fallout 4 VR, which just came out.
Super hot.
I got my dad to buy that, actually. Super hot, which I might have to pick up in VR.
Vinny, my God. You've not played it in VR?
I haven't.
Play it in VR.
Yeah, because I owned the regular one.
Fun.
I was really disappointed when I realized that those weren't like a game and a DLC or the same game. So I have the other one.
Yeah.
Vinny was actually telling me yesterday that Arizona Sunshine is absolutely incredible. I think he said it's the best game he's played in VR.
Oh, Arizona, that's the zombie one. See, and I've read reviews on that, and it's kind of like, they're like, it's a zombie game.
Yeah, I've heard it's great in VR, though. The Rick and Morty virtual reality game, if you like Rick and Morty, I've heard is absolutely amazing. It's made by the people that did Job Simulator, I think.
Oh, yeah. And then Fruit Ninja VR.
Have you played it?
Awesome.
It's so fun.
I've seen people play it, and I really want to.
I think it was actually the first VR game I ever played. No, it was the second. Luna was the first one I played.
Nice.
And it's so fun. You feel like such a badass in that game because you got these awesome swords.
And watermelons.
You look like a complete idiot playing it. God, it is so fun. Actually, I'm not sure if Luna is in this sale or not. But if it
I
is,
see Alice. I don't see Luna.
Luna is not on sale. Luna is the best VR game I've ever played.
Cool.
So it's not on sale, though, but it's only $15. So.
Sweet.
But
and if you want to buy any of these bundles, we link them on our own website, bytemepodcast.com/humble. Buy them via our link, and we'll get a little thank you money from...
A little cash.
Yeah, and then we can sink some money into our show.
Yeah, go to E3.
Ooh, that's fun.
We'd have to sell a lot
birthday.
of them for your birthday.
Yeah. Or we could nix the idea of me starting a GoFundMe to buy video games for me this year.
Also a possibility. God, there's so many good games coming out.
So.
Yeah, but Humble is one of those things that I've been a fan of for years and years and years, so I don't mind shilling for them because I'm just a big fan of what they do. Cool. So go there and look at us.
Bytemepodcast.com/humble.
There you go.
All right, and with that, we are done for the week.
Yay!
Week done.
Next week, episode 65, our show retires.
Next week.
No, kidding. Start getting Social Security. There's our money that we need.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Thanks for listening and watching us on the Mixer. It's mixer.com/ByteMePodcast. Make sure to find us on all the social medias at Byte Me Podcast, BYTE Me Podcast, or bytemepodcast.com.
Yeah, I know I'm streaming every morning and every night for the most parts on Mixer. So,
and our illustrious leader is staring at us and making weird faces through the window.
I love our illustrious leader.
Yeah.
So we got that going on.
Trying to figure out a streaming schedule.
Yeah.
Like, you're doing pretty good at doing mornings and nights most of the time.
Yeah.
But
They're not long. They're 45 minutes, so drop by.
I started doing this thing where I go to this place that I pay money to, and I lift heavy stuff for like 2 hours.
His name Jim.
His name is Jim. Yes.
Have you thought about just doing like boxing in VR or something? I read about a dude that lost like 55 pounds, and that was all he did is he played a boxing game in VR.
Yeah.
Why don't they make a VR like Jim?
I actually was reading an article the other day where they're starting to put VRs into gyms and you do all these different things, and it, what you're doing in real life is lifting weights or pulling things, and what you're doing in the game is.
Could you imagine doing like a rowing machine?
Is like riding a chariot,
like Dragon Boat races or something?
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Riding chariot. Yeah, with
the ropes.
I think it would be really cool. You could do some really fun stuff. I would love a game where you were on like a bike and you could just bike through places.
Well, they've got those.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like, I don't have a.
It would be so much more
bike
interesting to have something to look at instead of like what's
or running
not interesting on the news.
You should probably jog in VR. That seems real dangerous.
That would freak me out, man. Do that in the real.
Yeah. The real R.
Anyway, the show's R. We're done. We're out of here. Find us, follow us, like us, all that stuff. And then we'll see you next week.
Nice.
But most of all,
bite me. Well, I almost did it.
Bite me.
Okay. There can be only one.